Hello fellow audiophiles and music lovers. Today, we have a special treat for you, the legendary Chosky Records, the ultimate demonstration disc. This is not just any disc. This is the disc that will reveal the true potential of your speakers, your headphones, your DAC, your amp, your cables, and even your room acoustics. This is the disc that will make you hear things you never heard before, and make you question everything you thought you knew about sound quality. This is the disc that will make you cry, laugh, and gasp in awe. This is the disc that will change your life. But don't take my word for it. Let's listen to some of the tracks and see what they can do for us. I'll be using my trusty reference system, consisting of a pair of Wilson Audiomaster Chronosonic speakers, a DCS Vivaldi DAC, a Boulder 3050 monoblock amplifier, and a Nordostoden 2 Supreme reference cable. Of course, you can use whatever system you have at home, as long as it's not too cheap or too old. You don't want to waste this disc on a mediocre setup, do you? The first track is called Transparency. It's a solo piano piece by David Chosky himself, recorded with a single-point microphone in a church. The idea is to capture the natural ambience and reverberation of the space, as well as the subtle nuances of the piano tone and touch. As you listen to this track, pay attention to how clear and detailed the sound is. You should be able to hear every note, every hammer strike, every pedal movement, every breath of the pianist. You should also be able to hear the size and shape of the church, the distance between you and the piano, the airiness and spaciousness of the soundstage. If you can't hear these things, then something is wrong with your system or your ears. Maybe you need to upgrade your components, or maybe you need to clean your ears with some Q-tips. Or maybe you need to go to church more often. The second track is called Depth. It's a jazz trio featuring saxophone, bass, and drums. The idea is to demonstrate how well your system can reproduce the depth and layering of the instruments in the mix. As you listen to this track, pay attention to how each instrument occupies its own space in the soundstage. You should be able to hear the saxophone in front of you, slightly to the left, with a realistic sense of presence and body. You should be able to hear the bass behind and to the right of the saxophone, with a solid and tight low end. You should be able to hear the drums in the back of the stage, with a crisp and dynamic attack. You should also be able to hear how each instrument interacts with each other and with the room acoustics. If you can't hear these things, then something is wrong with your system or your ears. Maybe you need to adjust your speaker placement. Or maybe you need to get some hearing aids. Or maybe you need to stop listening to rap. The third track is called Mid-Range Purity. It's a female vocal piece by Sarah Q, accompanied by acoustic guitar. The idea is to showcase how well your system can reproduce the most important frequency range for a human voice, the mid-range. As you listen to this track, pay attention to how natural and lifelike the voice sounds. You should be able to hear every word, every emotion, every inflection of the singer's voice. You should also be able to hear how rich and warm the guitar sounds, with a smooth and balanced tone. You should not hear any harshness, sibilance, distortion, or coloration in the mid-range. If you do hear these things, then something is wrong with your system or your ears. Maybe you need to change your crossover settings. Or maybe you need to see an ENT specialist. The fourth track is called Dynamic Test. It's a percussion ensemble featuring various drums and cymbals from different cultures and traditions. The idea is to test how well your system can handle sudden changes in volume and intensity without losing clarity or control. As you listen to this track, pay attention to how loud and quiet each drum hit sounds. You should be able to hear a wide range of dynamics, from soft whispers to thunderous booms. You should also be able to hear how fast and accurate each drum hit sounds. You should not hear any compression, clipping, or distortion in the dynamics. If you do hear these things, then something is wrong with your system or your ears. Maybe you need to lower your gain, or maybe you need to wear some earplugs. Or maybe you need to stop banging your head. The fifth track is called Presence. It's a male vocal piece by Livingston Tyler, accompanied by piano. The idea is to illustrate how well your system can reproduce the sense of realism and intimacy of a live performance. As you listen to this track, pay attention to how close and personal the voice sounds. You should be able to hear the singer's breath, lips, tongue, and throat. You should also be able to hear the piano's resonance, sustain, and decay. You should feel like you are in the same room with the singer and the piano, or even better, like they are in your room. You should not hear any artificial or processed sound in the presence. If you do hear these things, then something is wrong with your system or your ears. Maybe you need to tweak your equalizer settings, or maybe you need to get some therapy. Or maybe you need to get a date. The sixth track is called Visceral Impact. It's a rock band featuring electric guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. The idea is to demonstrate how well your system can deliver the physical and emotional impact of music. As you listen to this track, pay attention to how powerful and exciting the sound is. You should be able to feel the guitar's distortion, the bass's punch, the drum's kick, and the vocal's energy. You should also be able to feel the rhythm, groove, and melody of the music. You should not feel bored or indifferent to the sound. If you do feel these things, then something is wrong with your system or your ears. Maybe you need to crank up the volume, or maybe you need to find some better music. The seventh and final track is called Holographic Imaging. It's a binaural recording of a barbershop quartet singing in a circle around a dummy head microphone. The idea is to create a three-dimensional sound field that simulates the actual location and direction of the sound sources. As you listen to this track, pay attention to how realistic and immersive the sound is. You should be able to hear each singer's voice coming from a specific point in space, either in front of you, behind you, or beside you. You should also be able to hear the distance and angle between you and each singer, as well as the height and width of the soundstage. You should not hear any flatness or confusion in the imaging. If you do hear these things, then something is wrong with your system or your ears. Maybe you need to use some headphones, or maybe you need to get some glasses. Or maybe you need to get a haircut. That's it for today's episode of The Ultimate Demonstration Disc. I hope you enjoyed listening to these amazing tracks and learning more about how to evaluate your sound system and your ears. If you want to get your own copy of this disc, you can order it from Chosky Records website for only $999.99 plus shipping and handling. Trust me, it's worth every penny. Until next time, happy listening.